We are going to quickly take you through the apprenticeship program within StrangerSapiens. So as you know, we as a community are committed to having the right set of people in the right set of environment. And a big part of that is putting some kind of a filter, and one such filter is a price tag. So there's membership and there is patron. And if you don't have the money, there are two other ways to engage with us, and one such way is apprenticeship, the other thing is community building. So what is this apprenticeship that we are talking about, right? So apprenticeship, by the definition, goes someone who has agreed to work for a skilled person for a particular period of time, and often for low or no payment. Now, why would they do that? It's because the person that you're working with is skilled enough so that you get to upskill yourself. And this is more like the work and mentorship or trader, right? So anyone that crosses a certain bar of work ethic and shared values with us as a community can apply to become an apprentice within StrangerSapiens, and then we'll go through an interview process. And then eventually what you'll be doing is what we are gonna see in this particular video. We look at storytelling in this level. So basically everything starts off as a thought in a person's mind, which gets captured in a digital way, which is essentially network thought. So the tool that you see here is called Rome Research. We essentially use that to log our thoughts in a networked way. And from there, it kind of becomes a structured text. And that's what a content curator and content editor's job is. And from there, you can start adding multiple layers of senses to this, right? So either you can add audio, then it becomes a podcast. You can add images, or info designer's job is to convert this structured text into a way that's easily palatable. So even what you're seeing over here started off as a text, like it didn't really jump off as a picture that you're seeing over here. It's taken multiple iterations for us to write down a thought clearly. What do we mean by this? Why are we writing like this? What's the x-axis? What's the y-axis? And then an info designer comes in and they're like able to look at this in a way, in a visual first way. And then the output is what you're essentially seeing. So that's images or info designer's job. And then comes a video editor's job, because we'll be creating raw videos like this. We'll be having podcasts, we'll be having sessions and workshops and productivity hackathons, and all these things while being captured and recorded through modern tools. It has to be edited and made into a palatable way for people to consume. So that's the video editor's job. So essentially we are looking at editor or writer. So basically from what the third thing that you see here, researcher/curator, is kind of like the first level, where we're putting all the information through the filters that we have, obviously. So certain process that we have. So then curator kind of curates it, editor or and writer kind of brings it down into the most efficient structured way possible. And from there it goes to info designer, who converts that into a visual way. And then video or sound editor kind of makes that into a video. Now all this thing is good, like we have curated, created, produced content, but it has to be distributed and measured, and that's where growth marketer comes. So these are the 5 different skills that you'll be learning while you're working with us. And now Pranshu will take us through each of these things in detail, and like what in general, how the process will flow. Yeah, over to you, Pranshu.
Thanks, Sam. That was great. So as you can see this page, again, Rome Research. This is for you guys. If you're joining us, you will have some pre-reading stuff. So before you join us after your interview, you can go through these things. Then for onboarding, we have some rules and we have this plan laid out. Okay, so you'll watch our intro videos, know about us, what we stand for. Then you fill your page, you learn about the tool. Then from day 3 to day 6, you have different paths for all the 5 things, where for example in content editor we have created a process doc, which is a culmination of at least 200 to 300 hours of work from various places. We have distilled the best practices. So you'll be going through it to just start from scratch and learn how to edit and how to write. So now coming to that, this guy has been an apprentice and now he actually works with us, and as a paid person, and he works as a part-time person, and you can see how he's logging his daily work, right? So from the day that he joined, he started on July 27th, he was in first batch, He has logged his daily work in this way, and in sprints, and then in outcomes. And actually, on our website, if you just scroll here, you will get this proof of work included in the certificate, which has this QR code and bit.ly link, which actually links to this page. So now when you give your certificate to someone, they'll actually have your record of work also, which is called proof of work. So now coming to the job description. So let's start with the editor. So as you can see, working on a newsletter, social content, session transcripts, decks, stuff like that. And then there's Author, which is a tool. So this is that process editing doc, which we talked about, right? So how do we become a better writer or edit? What are the steps? And you can see how much content there is. It's almost like a small book. And then this is that tool, the Author, which what it does is that you give it video or audio and then it converts it into text using AI. So this is how editing or writing, content writing looks like at StrangerSapiens. Now, Sam, I hand it over to you and you can take up the info design.
All right, great. So I'm going to quickly talk about info designer. Like I said, like that's one of the most important tasks over here, because an image is equal to 1,000 words, right? So an info designer's job is essentially to convert the ideas and the frameworks, because most of the things that we do here are completely new, because like once you curate, you end up creating your own framework as well. So info designer's job is to convert these thoughts and frameworks, curated frameworks, into a new way that we are looking at. So that also includes right from the logo that we had, or the site design, the certificate design, everything that you see here is done by our previous set of apprentices. And so we have a process here as well. So you'll be working on tools like Canva, and if you're good at any Adobe tools, it's better. But like we kept saying from the beginning, an apprentice is someone who comes in at a skill level 0, right? So even if you don't have these particular skills with you, we will give you courses. So like we have enough the brand guidelines over here, where exactly what kind of color to use, what kind of font to use, what's the taxonomy of fonts that you'll be using. Everything is over here. And then you'll mostly be working on Canva to convert the thoughts and text and ideas into a visual format. All right, and the next one is
researcher/curator.
Right, yeah.
So if you see this illustration, so now this illustration, if you read all this, it took a lot of work and how we have implemented these things. So okay, you can see it in a beautiful way, but the raw version of it takes a lot of work, and that's what essentially the researcher's job is. So all of these things are actually combination of 4 or 5 good research papers and blog posts and other things, and then we also thought about it, and then how should we design, and then this is the result that you see. So as a curator, what does it look like? So that's one output. Another output is we have these personal questionnaires for every single session. So our session 21 in our FAQS, which you can read more about in our website, is creativity as a skill and innovation. So you have questions, and then you have images. If there's options, there's some direction to how to answer, and then there's like a goal, which is what do you want with respect to this thing, and maybe where you are. So that will be like your baseline. So if you look at just the sheer number of questions here, and these are by the way curated. So just imagine how much work has gone into finding the raw questions, and the sources are linked here at the end. So this is one part. Then we have for all the sessions, for example, this is session 4, and this is about sleep and our hormones. So this is our link library, where we find the best possible links and most highly rated and respected people in their field, and we take their content and we structure it, and then we put a short description. So that's what a researcher's or curator's job is. And then we move on to the growth marketers. So Sam.
All right, great. So before I get to growth marketer, we will quickly talk about video editors. So in video editor, you are essentially going to be converting raw videos like this. So right now this is getting recorded on Zoom, and like this desktop recording as well happening. So as a video editor, when the raw video comes to you, what kind of tool, we have courses around Filmora, iMovie, OpenShot. So irrespective of the platform, be it Microsoft or Mac or Linux platform that you're using, the irrespective of the tool, the process still remains the same, which is a raw video comes in, and then there are few processes that we follow, which is to involve text over here. The subtitle should be like this, and your the quotes has to be in certain formats. So basic process are set. That way we are able to optimize a raw video into a produced full hour video, along with a podcast, along with like 5 to 10 short videos in one working day, which is like 7 to 8 hours of time. This is possible, and everyone who's doing that right now started off at skill level 0 probably 2 months ago or 3 months ago, right? So don't worry about it. We'll teach you everything, and if you're into video editing, you will get to convert these raw videos, and like a lot more thing can be done on videos, right? So you will start with these things, and then as you upskill faster, then you can probably teach us more, and that's what has been happening in our community. So that's the video editor apprentice. So the next one is the growth marketer one. So the growth marketing is essentially, all this video, all this content that we have produced are great unless it's distributed in the right way, at the right time, to the right people, right? So that's where a growth marketer comes in. So which is understanding the social media channels and the paid channels and the earned channels that we have, and then distribute the content through organic means and through paid means when it comes to certain courses that we are selling, and then optimize it and analyze it over a period of time, so the overall customer acquisition cost comes down, while maintaining the balance or the quality that we want for a community as well. So that's the role of a growth marketer, and you'll be working with me, Pranshu, and our previous apprentices who have now grown up to become seniors and like mentors of sorts, right? So these are all the apprenticeship positions that we have. And now Pranshu will also gonna quickly remind you guys about the kind of community that we're building. So what's the space in which you're gonna be working? Yeah, over to you, Pranshu.
Yeah, thank you. So just before we move on, if you look at the process that we follow, so there's a whole, again, Rome Research doc, and Sam has actually written a book himself about growth marketing and sales marketing and strategy, and this is one of the chapters which is actually in the pre-reading for this. So again, this whole book is also on Rome, right? So we have the processes in place, and then everything that you can think of with respect to learning the neuroscience of it or just the common sense of it, you can find stuff related to that in these books. So this is a proper training, and then this is the end result. So we have this sheet where we have this process of developing the function versus features or persona, all of that, and then what you see here is the sheet which was made by a previous apprentice, and this is done from their research. So they learn all of these things, how to work through the buyer's journey and all of that. Okay, so now let's quickly jump over to our website. So this is our identity page, which you can find here. So if you scroll through this, you'll find a lot of things about us, from the story of our logo, what we stand for, our tenets, what do we mean by journey to consistent productivity. And then this is something that we really thought closely about, and this is developing a space which is safe enough. What does that mean? Dignity safe, but intellectually challenging. So you can go to this page to understand how it will be like to work with us and to be with us and to appreciate us more. And finally, like Sam mentioned at the start, there are multiple ways to join us, and apprenticeship is one of them, which is right here. So Sam, you can just quickly round up this, and then we'll end with closing thoughts.
All right, great. So two ways. The first is member and patron comes with you paying some money. Remember, the first $250 membership is going to be free, and then we'll like put a price tag of $1 to $2 per month. And basically you get access to our content. So you get to meet people and learn from them. So the learning circles are accessible, but you won't be able to create a learning circle, and you won't be able to participate in our productivity hackathon and then accountability program if you are just a member. With patron, those things, the productivity hackathon, starting your own learning learning circle, and the curated link library that our team has spent so much time in curating, and it's accessible to you as well. And then everything that goes with a community engagement in terms of watch parties, our weekly walk-ins, and everything that comes with the patent here. Now, these are just for people who are able to pay the money. Now, the other things, which is community builder and apprentice, which is what we talked about till now, the apprentice, 6 different roles that are available within us, and then community builder is yet another way to engage with us, where you are essentially getting involved in the day-to-day operations of the community, be it on knowledge management on Roam, or be it on moderating the Discord server that we have and all other communication channels that we have, or conducting the events and hosting the events and making sure recording is happening and then put up on a certain folder where it goes to the content production team or the video editor team to produce it. So that's all part of community builder. We'll put a separate video around that. The next 2 things, partner and fellow, is fellow is essentially the power course that's the core of StrangerSapiens. So once we reach a certain threshold of people who are interested in that 32-day consistent program of learning something, the entire power course will be structured around 32 sessions, and that's the fellowship part. And partnership, again, is something where we have to work together for at least 6 months so that we understand each other's working style. And then we go through a virtual alignment workshop where we really know that we can work together as a partner. And that's when the partnership tier opens up for you. But if you're starting off with us, you can choose either to be a member or to be a patron, or you want to put in the time and improve your skill, you can join as a community builder or an apprentice. So with that, we are going to end this video. So we encourage you to apply to be an apprentice within us, and then the form is available over here, strangersapiens.club/apprentice. The form is over there. Everything that we have spoken right now will also be put up on the page, so you know exactly what you'll be learning and the process and the kind of people with whom you'll be learning, and the space, the safe enough space in which you'll be learning as well. So with that, we are going to end this video. Pranshu, any final thoughts?
So on this page, you can find all the details, and you can check out our website for more. You can find the experience of previous people who have worked with us. And this is the form right here. So we'll be sending out posts with this link, and we look forward to working with you.
All right. Thank you guys.